You only get paid when?
When you buy it.
When it closes and you help your seller, you help your buyer find the property. If you're a listing agent, when do you get paid? When your property sells, whether you found the buyer or not. Okay? So listings sometimes take a lot less work in terms of managing your business, whereas buyers can take 1 month, 1 year, 1 decade. And after that decade, they're out of the market. I'm done. I don't think I can buy anymore. But Kate, oh, I've been in the business 20 years, so I've seen. Okay? So you have more control of your time with listings. Because the moment you have a listing, for every listing you get, typically you might generate at least 2 buyers out of it. Because when you have a listing, it goes on Zillow, it goes on Redfin, it goes on all the internet portals, and people will call you. Oh, I saw your listing online. Or I saw your listing sign. Or a friend said they saw your listing. You naturally, organically will get the buyers. Okay? So that's the beauty of having listings. It could make or break your business. Okay? So it's always good to have an inventory of listings because you can more or less get paid if you market it and promote it correctly. Okay? So listings are very important. This last one here for Mel is leverage. Okay? What did we say about leverage earlier? Do you remember? What is leverage in your business?
Getting someone else to do the things that you aren't good at or don't
exactly.
have
So
time for.
leverage means either having tools, technology, or people. Usually it's people first to help you run your business. Okay? As a new agent, it is not unnatural for you to do everything. You're the CEO, you're the listing coordinator, you're the buyer's agent, you are the escrow coordinator, okay? You put the signs out, you make all the calls, you set up, you're the secretary, you make the appointments, you do everything, okay? And by the way, I saw this one list that said, these are the tasks of a real estate agent. There were about 1,000. If you think about it, just to do a listing, how many steps does it take to get a listing? Tremendous. Appointments, paperwork, follow-up after follow-up. It's pictures, photography, staging. There are hundreds of tasks for everything that we do, okay? So this is where we're saying, at some point in your business, you need to start thinking leverage. Hiring an administrative assistant, hiring a transaction coordinator, hiring a buyer's agent to help you because you have too many leads now, you can't do all the buyers. Having someone help you with listings if you got a lot of listings that you're handling, okay? This is how you scale your business, okay? So again, I'm talking, you are not a solo agent anymore, you are now running an official business by hiring people, okay? Do you have to? No, you don't have to, but it's your choice. You either work solo and do it all, or you start scaling out and you hire and then you have to, and then most likely your production will be higher volume, okay? It's all up to you how you want to run your business, okay? So let's talk about the big rocks of the business. Any questions on the 3 L's? What are they again? Leads, listings, and leverage. On your yellow sheet, you see NLNB, all right? I want you to write that down, what it stands for. And if you want to tattoo this on your forehead, it might be a good idea. No leads, no business. NLNB. No leads, no business. Remember, you've got to have a pipeline, especially, and you're going to hear this a lot, is we are in a shifting market. Have you heard that? Yes. Have you heard that in real estate talk around the country? We're in a shifting market. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, what does it mean?
Prices are dropping, people aren't buying, people aren't selling.
Okay, so run that by me again. Dad?
I said prices are dropping, people aren't buying, people aren't selling. There's not as much business out there to be had, and the real estate agents are having to work harder to get what business there is.
Okay, so that's one good way to talk about a shifting market.
Yeah.
It's because what market are we in right now? If someone would ask you, what kind of market are we in?
Kind of a high market. We're in sellers.
Sellers.
Market.
What defines a seller's market?
May benefit.
They're going to prices are high and inventory is low.
Okay, so seller's market is defined by, typically by the months of supply on the market. How many months of supply are on the market? Remember the sheet that I showed you on my clipboard here? This. One of the key metrics, it says months of supply of inventory. There's a way to calculate that. I'm not going to go into it now, but the months of supply defines what kind of market we're in. If the months of supply is less than 3 months, you're in a seller's market. Because you have low supply, typically a high demand, and that causes prices to go up, okay? So typically, if the supply is low, less than 3 months, you're in a seller's market. So right now, for the month of December, there was 4.8 months of supply for homes for sale for the whole island. And that means that there's only, if every house on the market today and no new listings came on the market, it would take 4.8 months to sell it all. Okay, that's what that months of supply means.
That's true.
And if it's less than 3 months, typically it's a seller's market. When you get between 3 to 6, kind of a normal. It's shifting to a normal, more balanced market. Equal amount of homes for sale, equal amount of buyers on the market. Okay, so it's not a flurry of craziness. On a seller's market, it's crazy. You get one listing go on the market, everybody wants it. There's a bidding war. It's crazy. People go crazy. But they don't get it. People get mad. People get upset. You know, you're dealing with that kind of stuff. In a normal market, it's a little less hectic. People make an offer. You take 2 days to respond. We're good. In a seller's market, I want an answer now. I'm giving you 1 day to respond. I'm giving you 6 hours to respond. You got 5 multiple offers. How do you handle that? Different kind of market. And then 6 to 9 months is usually a buyer's market. That's where listings are sitting on the market for a long time. 1 year, 2 years. When I got into real estate, it was a buyer's market. I mean, things were sitting on the market for a year. That would have been the great time to buy. Do we know when it's a buyer's or seller's market?
Well, we do now.
You don't know them. You should always know the market of the moment, by the way. Okay? As a professional, you need to know the market of the moment, and you need to be able to speak freely about that. That's why you need to know this stuff. Okay? So always know the market of the moment.
So are you saying that this is already indicative of it shifting? So you said under 3 and you're at 4.5?
Yes.
And by the way, this is for the whole island.
Mm-hmm.
Real estate is local, meaning you got to go even by the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Remember I said how many homes are for sale in West Maui under $1 million?
1.
One house. Is that a seller's market or a buyer's market?
Sellers.
Definitely a seller's market. You can calculate the months of supply for any given neighborhood, and you got to learn how to do that. Okay, so that's what sets you apart. A lot of agents don't know how to do months of supply, by the way. They don't know what an absorption rate is, by the way. Again, you got to be educated, and you got to know how to speak like a true professional. Okay, those are the things that are going to set you apart. Okay.
So on the Paragon,
Yeah.
do they have it by location, by areas?
Yeah, they do.
They break down, yeah, on another report, they break down by neighborhood, what the median prices are, how many units have sold. But you can go on Paragon and calculate, pull the numbers and calculate. So what I do for my team is we do what we call a State of the Union report. And we give that State of the Union report to our clients on a monthly basis. We also do a YouTube video to all of our clients. This is our 1-minute monthly market report. So my team partners and I, we talk about the market and we blast it out to all of our clients. Okay? These are the things you need to do to be top of mind and to be the local expert. Okay? Any questions? Okay. So let's talk about the big rocks. And then from the big rocks, we're going to do some activities. Some of you may have seen this demo before. So think of this as a clear glass. Think of this as a clear glass sitting right here, and I've got all these, I'll call these are my big rocks, okay? I'm going to put the big rocks in the container. So now I got all these big rocks in here. These are my big rocks. If I fill that up with the big rocks, is the glass full?
No.
No. So I'm going to put little rocks, okay? Let's put the LR, the little rocks between the big rocks. Is it full now? No. No?
No.
Okay. We can put sand in it.
Sand in it.
So now I'm going to add some sand. Let's dump all that sand in here. Okay, now are we full?
No.
Okay. No.
No?
Who says no?
Yes.
Really, Rosalina? Really? Are we going there? Are we gonna put?
Maybe water, we put it there.
Okay, you can put
Water.
water. You're right, you can actually add water.
Maybe water.
So we take a glass of water and fill it up in here.
Right?
Are we full now?
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, no.
No. No?
Between the water, there's molecules of
Ah,
Okay, but my point is, in your life, if you look at yourself as a glass jar, you have big rocks, you have little rocks, you have grains of sand, you have water, you have all these things that enter your life, right? So what I'm trying to point out to you is focus on the big rocks, always. Because what are some of the big rocks in your personal life? What are the things that are most meaningful to you in your life? Such as
It's
your children, your spouse, your partner, your, okay, that's, Rosalie says, well, maybe. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? If you focus on the things that are the most important, will you not have a good life and you feel your life is fulfilled? You can fill your life with little rocks. Those could be everyday things that get in the way of life. Let me ask you this, how would you look at social media? Is that a big rock, little rock, a grain of sand? What is it? A little rock? Well, I will tell you, social media is huge in our business, okay? So I actually have to dedicate time to do that because a lot of our clients, especially millennials, are looking at social media, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever. I only use those two primarily. I actually hired a social media director to help me on my team, to teach me and to help me grow that side of the business.
Do you boost your Facebook site?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah. We do Facebook campaigns, Instagram campaigns. We use algorithms in order to.
But do you pay on your Facebook site
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
boost?
It's part of my marketing budget.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't do print ads anymore. I don't do homes. I do homes and land, but I do a group ad with other agents for an organization we belong to. That's it. That's the only print ad I will do. And when I consult with sellers and they ask if I'm going to be in print ads, I go, no, it's not where buyers are looking anymore. Buyers are looking about 90% on the internet, even luxury buyers, you know? So I don't use that. You have to be very careful where you put your money nowadays. So anyways, this is just to illustrate, focus on the big rocks of your business. So what are the big rocks of a real estate business?
Knowledge?
We just talked about it, people. We just talked about it. The 3 L's.
Leverage, listings, and leads.
NL and B.
Okay. No leads.
You ain't got no leads,
business.
you're out of business,
No
okay?
lead.
So remember, your big rocks in your business will always be lead generation, lead generation, lead generation. Constantly fill your pipeline. The bigger your pipeline, the bigger your business potential, the bigger your potential of longevity of your business. Does that make sense? Because no matter how great your services are and how great of a person you can be, if you have no leads, you're out. How does any business stay alive? Through leads, right? They're constantly looking for new clients, new prospects. That's your job. That is your #1 job, is to look for leads and find a way to service them, find a way to get them into an appointment, find a way to get them to write a contract, find a way to get them to close. That is your function. Create the lead, find the leads, get them to an appointment, get them to write a contract, get them to close. That's all you do every day. Find a lead, get them into an appointment, get them into a contract, get them to close. Do I need to do this one more time?
No.
See how easy the job is? Very easy.
There you go.
Everybody wants to do it. Okay, any questions on the big rocks and any questions on the big rocks yet, on the 3 L's, okay? So what are you going to be doing the first thing after this class? What's the first thing you're going to start doing?
Calling my clients.
Building your leads pipeline.
Yeah, okay.
Start working on the pipeline. Who are they today? Who are they going to be in the future? And what we're going to do on the 4-on-1 is we're going to give you goals on how many people you need to add to your pipeline. Okay? Excellent. How are we doing on time?
You
How
are
many more minutes?
13 minutes left.
13 more minutes? Okay, good. Good. I am on track. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to dive into some of this paperwork here. Oh, by the way, there is something I do want to teach you real quickly. Oh, no, we'll start with this one. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to time block. We're going to do a time block exercise. The first time block exercise is let's have fun and let's take some vacations. So over the next 12 months, I'd like you to decide when you're going to take your vacations over the next 12 months. I want you to reward yourself because you worked so damn hard in this business, so now it's time to take a holiday. So I want you to start thinking purposefully about, and some of you may already have planned a vacation, right? So put it down now at this 12-month calendar, because we are in January, so this is for the next 12 months. When are you going to be taking some vacation time? Put it down, and where are you going, by the way? Write it down. And how long are you going to take? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Write that down now. I want you to take a vacation, by the way. I'm not going to pay for it, but I want you to take it, because you earned it. I also want you, as you go through that month to month, what are some of the important dates over the next 12 months that are important to you? Maybe it's your partner's birthday, maybe not. Is it an anniversary? Is it a child's birthday? Is it, like for me, next week is huge for me because it's my 24-year anniversary on Maui, so I'll celebrate that. So think about some of the things that are important to you over the next 12 months that you want to celebrate. This is your time to do that. Feel good about it. Don't worry about if it costs a lot of money. The money's coming to you. It's already in your hands. No need to fear. It's all there. Think big and have fun. If somebody gave you $1 million today, what would you do with it and where would you spend it? Think of it that way. Oh, I'm going to take this cruise, or I'm going to spend. I want you to start thinking like that, because if you don't, you will limit yourself to what you're going to accomplish in this business. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. We're big thinkers in this company. We don't settle for less. And if you do, you need to leave right now. I'm not kidding you. We are big thinkers in this company. Because it's the only way to be, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Like we do. We do. Something about the vacation.
Henry's gone, so I want to plan what I'm going to do during that time. No, it's my birthday. Henry will go for 3 weeks. Doing 1 week, then Monday, 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah, this will be a short one. Maybe we'll do something. Nothing for 2 years and then 2 things in 1 year.
Yeah, I haven't done anything for 2 years.
Yeah.
Usually have.
Are we having fun yet? Writing down our goals?
Right here.
Yeah.
Luke, did you take a vacation yet? In your 12 months?
Yeah, we took we went to the Bahamas. Just got back. Well, we did it about 3 months ago.
Were you on a cruise? Or?
Yeah.
My sister just did that too.
Yeah,
They went to the Bahamas.
Freeport, Nassau. We didn't really explore because the whole hurricane thing.
Yeah.
But we went off to the tourist trap,
Yeah.
and then we did a few nights where my wife's from in Ohio.
Forward in your life.
Over there.
You took all the kids?
Yeah, took all the kids.
That was the first cruise I ever took, was to the Bahamas.
That was our first cruise. It was awesome. It was great.
I go on a lot of cruises.
Do you really? So we're gonna have to talk about that later because I want to go on some more.
Yeah.
This one was like party central. It's perfect for the kids.
Yeah, of course.
I read the
Carnival is
reviews
fun.
and it was like, if you want a cruise where the pool's full of kids and running all crazy at all hours,
This is
I was
for
like,
you.
perfect. Yeah, give me that one.
Yeah.
Send me that twice.
Yeah.
So
Okay, how are we doing on this exercise? It's fun,
Very
isn't
good.
it? To know you're going to be doing things?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to show you what I do with my own personal business and how I calendar my 12 months. So this is an actual legitimate calendar that I have in my office. This is one of my best time blocking techniques and keeps me focused. Again, clarity is power. This is the first thing I do, before the next year begins. I spend like a few days thinking of my whole calendar 12 months in advance. So I take time to do this. So on this count, this is 2019. On 2019, this is my calendar, okay? And so what you're going to see here are a couple things. All the green is when I was traveling, okay?
Wow. Awesome.
So I traveled, I think about 12 weeks or 15 weeks out of the year, okay? And some of it was business, some of it was personal, okay? But, so all the green is when I was away. So I was gone every month for the year. All the stars on here are all the closings, okay? I want you to see that in July, I had 4 closings, I was gone a whole month. How did I do that? Leverage, okay? How did I do that? Through purpose and intent, okay? And then, yeah, so I took, this year, I took about 6 weeks off this year, okay? 4 months in July, and about 2 weeks here towards the end of the year. All the other travel was business. Like I went to Dubai in January for about 10 days. That was a real estate luxury development trip. I got invited by the Asian Real Estate Association. There were 150 realtors across the US they invited. That was an amazing trip. Never been in the Middle East. This was not planned, but did I make it happen? Hell yeah. Like they gave us like 3 months notice. Because this organization I belong to, 2 or 3 times a year they go on trade mission trips, business trips for different countries. So I jumped on that. But all these like family reunion, mega camp, then I have ARIA, it's the organization I belong to. We do two trips, 2 conferences. I go to about 6 conferences a year. I go to 6 a year. So I really have to plug it in and know in advance where I'm going to go, where I'm going to be. And by knowing all of this, by doing it way in advance, I can see every day when I walk into my office, I won't be here. When a client calls, I know if I'm not going to be here or not, and they're coming on a trip, because a lot of the clients come from all over. I always have to know where I'm going to be, and if I'm not here, who's going to run my business, okay? Well, that's why I run a team, because I've known over the years that I'd rather work as a group rather than one person, because I travel a lot, and it's always going to be that way. So by putting everything for the full year ahead of you, this has been the best thing that's kept me very focused and gave me the clarity that I needed to be more efficient, okay? So like the blue stars were listings and the red stars were buyers, you know what I mean? So I know where my business is coming from, etc. So that's what I do here. And then for 2020, I haven't finished this yet, but this year, you know, the gold stars are the contracts that are closing. So in January, we got 4 coming up, 4 closings in January, 2 so far in February. My goal is to have 4 closings every month. So 48, 52 sales a year. That's our
How
goal.
many people are in your team?
There's 2 of us in sales, and Kay's gonna be helping us also, I think.
Just new.
Yeah, she's gonna help us. So I'm looking for 2 people, 2 buyer's agents. I have a listing specialist myself. We have a social media guy, director. I have 2 admin assistants and a transaction coordinator, okay? So we're looking to double our business this year, and the only way we're gonna do that is by adding more leverage. Again, it's thought out in advance. You know, you have to always plan your business a year in advance, so you know what you're gonna be doing. You look at last year's business, just like any scaling of a business. You look at last year's, you look at the forecast, how much I need to spend, all that good stuff. So we take time to do a lot of business planning before the year begins. So this year, I've only planned out these business trips yet. I haven't put in, because every month I'm taking actually every month, I'm going to 1 or 2 trips to California for business and investor workshops, etc. But I haven't plugged those in yet. And I'm increasing my time off from 6 weeks to 12 weeks this year.
Nice.
Okay? So I think big, and I find a way to make it happen. Okay? So I highly suggest you do whatever, you know, this is a really good thing to do. Plan in advance, plan 1 year in advance. That's why I'm having you just do this little minor exercise just to think about, oh, but if you're going to start going to conferences and joining organizations real estate related, and you should, that should be part of your professional development, is training and education and getting alphabet soups after your name. Do you know what I'm talking about? Alphabet soups, getting designations. Okay, you become more credible when you get more designations because people know you're in it, serious in it. You know, I'm getting higher education, I'm getting more training. People like that, by the way. Okay? So start putting that on your calendar is when you're going to take those classes, when you're going to do it. I trust you. Once you start putting all that stuff, you're like, oh my God, there's a lot going on in my life. But I always say time block for fun first. So that's why I'm having you time block for fun first, as I do. I time block fun and family first. Then everything else follows. And by the way, the more I travel, the more business I get. It's been very clear in the last couple of years that's happened. In the last couple of years, I've taken more vacations and more family time, and I've had the highest business I've ever had in those couple of years. And it just proved to me that I was clear about what I wanted to do, and I trusted in the universe that it would always provide. And I didn't ever waver on that. So I don't want you to ever think, that's why I don't want you to think small. I want you to think that the potential is there, but you really have to believe it, and you got to be very purposeful about getting there. Okay? Good. Okay, so that's exercise 1. Exercise 2 is we're going to create your ideal work week. Okay? Your ideal work week, meaning if you could work the hours that you really wanted to work and be purposeful about the hours that you were there. Because isn't it very easy to just do things and look busy? It's called busyness, not business. Okay? So a lot of us are in busyness and not business. You need to be spending actually more time working on the business rather than in the business. Does that make sense? What do I mean when I'm saying working on the business rather than in the business?
Always trying to improve your business instead of focusing on everything that's happening right now.
Yeah, so when you're working on your business, you're taking time to plan. You're taking time to analyze your business. You're reading, you're looking at your monthly profit and loss. You're looking at how much time or revenue is earned on a specific task. You know what I'm saying? You're analyzing your business. So you need time to do that on a regular basis, working on it, not just in it, because in it is doing the daily tasks.
An open house is a perfect time for that, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah, so an open house is a good time to do all kinds of things. If there's nobody coming into your open house, you could be making prospect calls. That's what you should be doing, is generating leads, right? Yeah, so use your time very wisely. Remember we talk about opportunity costs. What's important to you? What's your time worth? Okay, so on this calendar, I want you to, number 1, on the right-hand corner, I want you to write, what are your business hours? What are your business hours? So if I were to say, just like our business hours say 8:30 to 5:30, how many hours a day do you work for real estate? What are your business hours? Do you work 8 in the morning till 8 at night? Do you work 12 to 8? This is your ideal work week. So I want you to think now that you are running your business on a, this is your daily business. What is your ideal work week? If some of you are not in real estate full time yet, that's fine. But I want you to think about what would your ideal work week be? And how many days a week do you work? So I want you to first write down there, what are your business hours? Like mine is 9 to 5. That's my work hours. You can call my phone, by the way, and you'll hear a message. Hi, this is Randy Antonio with Keller Williams Realty, Team Kaikoa. I'm available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, weekends by appointment. That's what my message says. Have I trained my clients to... Again, time blocking, time boundaries, because if you don't have boundaries, guess what? Who's going to be walking all over you? Everybody, and your clients and everybody. You need to teach them that from the very beginning when you start working with your clients. I'm available 9 to 5. I don't feel like, oh my God, can I say that? Because a lot of agents have that thing. No, I have to be available 10, 12 hours a day. No, you don't. Who told you that? You don't. Do your clients work their jobs? Some probably work crazy hours, but for you, start defining your parameters, okay? The sooner you do that, the more sanity you will have at the end of the day. Remember, big rocks, what's important to you? Okay, so what are your hours? Did you guys write your hours down? Okay, the next thing you're gonna put under the hours you work, I want you to, let me just borrow yours real quickly.
Sure.
Oh, so you already did it kind of here. So I want you to put an X on when your days off are, okay? Put a big X on the days you're gonna be taking off. Remember, this is your business, you do whatever you want. I had one student in here, she didn't have any X's at all. That was her ideal work week. I'm like, oh, that's really nice. And I always thought, and I remember her very well. And to this day, I don't think she's in business anymore. So I'm trying to teach you good habits and creating the ideal lifestyle, ideal work. It's supposed to be a fun business. It can be fun when you have time for yourself. Okay, you need time. You will need some downtime. You really will. So learn how to get that now. Oh wow, I see Kevin has 3 big X's already. Dang. I like the way you think.
He's busier in those X's than the rest of the time, though, you can be sure.
Yeah. So did anybody at least block 1 day off?
Yes.
Good. 2 days?
Yes.
1.5.
1.5? Okay, good. Good for you. You get a big, I applaud you already for that, because some people they feel guilty if they can't take more than 2 days off. So mine is 2 days off, but split into 3. You know what I mean? So I have all day, on my calendar will say all day Sunday off, half day Wednesday, half day Saturday. That's how my schedule is. Yeah, because I like to have a half a day off in the middle of the week, and then a half day on Saturday. Because Saturday, there's always things to do with clients. But I take Sundays off. Like my team partner, she works on the Sunday, I don't. You know what I mean? So that was fun, wasn't it? Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to time block our top 20%. So what did we say about the top 20% of our business? What are they? Leads. What else? The 3 L's.
Listings.
Listing, leverage.
Leads and leverage.
NLNB. What does that stand for?
No leads,
No
no
leads,
business.
no
Okay, are you in business or out of business?
In business.
Okay, you're in business. Okay, so let's do some lead generation. I want you to time block on your calendar 2 hours of lead generation time every day. 2 hours of lead generation. So I want you to put a LG and block off 2 hours every day of lead generation time. That lead generation time can include an open house.
Nice.
It's either going to be, mostly it's going to be making contacts on the phone with clients, generating for new business or following up on old business. That's what your lead generation is primarily supposed to do.
Everybody should be making phone calls.
Making one-on-one, making appointments face-to-face, or being on the phone, or doing open houses. Because what are those? Those are high productivity activities. That's what brings in the clients. That's what brings in the appointments. Okay? So and that's why we're saying minimum of 2 hours. It's very hard discipline to do this, by the way, because we're easily distracted. If you're having to go to listing appointments, if you got to do meeting new clients, if you got to go on showings, if you say, where am I going to find the 2 hours? This is why I'm telling you now, you better start. That has to be your most important thing every day. It has to be number 1. Always number 1. Forget everything else, do that, and you will have a successful business. I guarantee you. Just 2 hours.